What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nilo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we're continuing with our Saturn through Houses series, and we'll be covering Saturn in the fourth house. So, what is Saturn? Saturn is the planet of limitation, restriction, discipline, organization. It represents the government, older people, mentors, managers. And what is the fourth house? The fourth house is the house of home, home life, homeland. I like to think of it as the front of our mind, okay, or the seat of our emotions. It's our psychological foundation. It's a house of learned behavior, conditioning. All right. So when Saturn gets into the fourth house, the first thing you need to know is that Saturn brings order and structure to one's home life, mainly through the relationship with one's mother. And that order and structure is going to come in the form of whatever sign is ruling that fourth house. So if it's Gemini, mom is going to be really serious about you getting a good education, teaching you things. There's going to be an open line of communication. If it's in, a sign like Leo, mom's going to instill a lot of confidence into you. Mom's going to push you to be the star. All right? If it's in a sign like a karmic sign like Scorpio or Aquarius, what we could see here is that the home life or the relationship with mom is restricted, and it can be for many different reasons. If it's in Pisces, maybe mom was a drug addict and didn't really take care of you like you needed. You were taking care of them. Okay, so that you had to learn to be responsible from taking care of your mother. But either way, mom teaches you how to be responsible, whether for good or bad. So this is a position. I like this position because you should pay attention to the fact that this is in the fourth house and that the angular houses 1, 4, 7, and 10, planets that come into these houses are very, very significant. So when Saturn's in the fourth, it's one of those cases of the saying, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. It's like that because the next thing Saturn can do, because Saturn represents underprivileged people. So with Saturn in the fourth house, you could be poor growing up, and from being poor, you value the things you didn't have, whether that be money, and you take your education more serious. You're now your mom, or you yourself, you push yourself because of your circumstances to become very Saturn like. So like I said, Saturn in the angles plays a huge part in the person's makeup. All right. Next thing is that when Saturn gets into the fourth house, it's because second, third, fourth, and first as well, it gives us information into the person's early life, okay? Because this is the house of learned behavior, conditioning, right? So whatever mom is teaching you, you remember, all right? These are the type of people that even when mom's not there, they don't want to break the rules because mom has instilled such discipline into them that it's just natural to be like, my mom wouldn't approve, so you know what? I'm not even gonna take that risk. So these people are responsible. But one of the things that I've noticed is that it can be some type of sibling rivalry here as well, just like Saturn in the third. Maybe mom favored you, but more times than not, I've seen that these people feel like they have to take a back seat towards their siblings. All right. Um, like I said, if Saturn is especially like in like Aquarius or something, there's a separation You could be called to separate from your family. Okay, and depending on other signs, you can be called to separate from family because it is through your separation or you going on your own that you grow and you develop. Okay, because on one side you can have everything that you want, right, and that makes you not value hard work and things like that. And on the flip side, not having it motivates you to have it. So people with Saturn in the fourth, security is a huge thing to them. So these are very much people willing to work for not just what they want, but they work because they understand this is my means to survive. I can't rely on other people. Okay. Next thing is, being that this is such a new age, okay, and the fourth house and the eighth house and the 12th house represents things like you don't actually see out in reality. Fourth house can show a person who works from home. This can be an accountant. This can even be a doctor who has their own practice in their home. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but for years, my personal pediatrician, he worked from home. Like his office was downstairs from his home. So graphic artists, okay, somebody who doesn't go out to the workplace to work. Saturn in the fourth shows that. So I would say, like, I'm gonna I'll just say a home business. You can call it being an entrepreneur, but Saturn in the fourth house allows you to work from home and be on top of everything in your home. So that's the next phase. Whether it's a man or a woman, because like I said, that security means so much to you. You take your family serious, like your own. Now, this isn't necessarily, when I say your family, doesn't mean like the family you grew up in. I'm more so talking about now about creating your own family. Okay, like I said, the person who had a very tough childhood, who didn't have that parent there for them or that stability, they make it a point to provide that for their own family. In some capacity, let's say the sign on the fourth is maybe like a fixed sign or an earth sign, we can see a person who this is the person that doesn't break away. This is the person that doesn't go leave the nest. And when I say leave the nest, you can grow up in a town, get a job in that town, start your family in that town, and you're very much connected to that town. Because remember, Saturn's main function here is repetitiveness. It likes doing the same thing over and over again. And then that's why I said, if it's an earth sign, and earth signs prefer the same thing, it can be somebody who never branches out of their surroundings. Not necessarily a bad thing. What I'm just trying to show you is that everyone has a different path. Now, of course, if you have ninth and 12th house influence, that's going to be different. That can show with a ninth and 12th house aspects, or wherever maybe Sagittarius is in your chart. You can see, okay, I'm going to travel. I'm going to start my life there, a new life somewhere else. All right. So I think I covered it all, guys. This is my interpretation of Saturn in the fourth house. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. Until next time, peace.